Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming. Welcome once again to the channel. I'm High Octane, your host, and we have the new deck for the new season. It's the first event of the season, which is always a water deck. This week deck is a beast killer deck, and it's a slayer event as well. And we're gonna take a look at the ultimate form first. So the ultimate form, the artwork is it's quite nice. I like the colors, I like the graphics, it's quite good. So this is Frontier Titans, and Frontier Titans will increase Water Slayer's damage by 130% for one turn, and it creates 6 water power gem 8s. It's a 3-turn cooldown deck, and it's got a 9 gem charge rate. The first passive is called Resounding Hammer. It creates 4 water power gem 3s at the start of each turn. So together with a battle skill, it will create 10 water power gem 8s. So you get the 4 water power gem 8s every single turn, which is quite nice. And you get the 10 water power gem 8s each time you activate your battle skill. The second passive, which is Steady in the Saddle. At the start of each turn, it decreases damage taken from enemy's attack by 20%. It's got 2 counter skills. The first of which dispels Might. The second one dispels Zombie. Might and Zombie are not too they're not too horrible debuffs. They're well, Might is a buff for the boss, and Zombie is a debuff that you get on your deck. So those are not too bad. Might is quite good in GVG. So this card is, for me, is primarily for GVG, because it increases Water Slayer's damage by 130%. Now 130% damage increase is not too bad in the grand scheme of things, because you've got cards that give you 300% damage increase for the next card of its affinity and its type. It gives that card a buff for one turn. So 170% less than a card that does that it's not too bad. But it's primarily for GVG, so this will buff your entire deck during GVG. However, in the Slay events, you might find a card or a deck that doesn't even uses this card that will do a bit more damage. But adding this card to your deck will give your deck a bit of an edge. This card to me is more of a supporting card, so it will play more of a supporting role on your deck rather than a main hitting card. So it's nice to have, not need to have. Next we'll look at the Master Collection card, and Johnny Henry, which is an historical figure, whether it's mythical or historical in American history. I'm not too sure, but I think it's a historical figure. He was somebody who used to do a lot of it wasn't mining, it was digging tunnels for the railway. I've read the stories. Anyway, this one, John Henry, creates 6 power gem 8s. 3-turn cooldown, 9-gem charge rate. Resounding Hammer is the passive, so this one is the one that's going to create your 10 water power gem 8s. You'll get 4 every turn, and you'll get 10 when you activate your battle skill. And this is the one that's going to dispel zombies. So it's more of a power gem producing cards, which personally for me, cards, Master Collection cards that only produce power gems, are even ultra rare that only produce power gems, if it's not producing like 20-30 power gems, for me they are not very useful, because ultimate forms some of the time produce more power gems than their Master Collection what would I say, because they inherit a lot of their abilities from the Master Collection ultra rare, what would I say, parents. So I would say the ultra rare and the Master Collection card is the parent of the ultimate form. Now let's look at the ultra rare. Outwitting Wonder is your ultra rare, and it increases water slay damage by 130% for 1 turn, and it reduces damage taken by 20%. So this is the card that's going to give you the damage increase. Doesn't produce any power gem, and a card that increases your damage is some of the time it's better than a card that only gives you power gems. But you can't put too much cards on your deck that gives you a damage or attack boost and it doesn't produce any power gems. Even though this one is more useful than Master Collection card and a bit more powerful than the Master Collection card, it is usable, but it's not very powerful, if you get what I'm saying. If it produced power gems, even 5 power gem 8s, and give you that 130% damage increase, it would be far more powerful than it is just giving you the damage increase. So it is usable, much better than the Master Collection card, but it isn't a very powerful card. Now this is your support card. It creates 3 water power gem 1s and heals for 4000% of your recovery. Now we're starting to get that build up where supporting cards actually creates power gems, which is quite nice. I can ask some more, but not yet. We're just getting the flow of supporting cards that creates power gems rather than just your garden variety gems, which is quite nice. So this for me is quite nice. Not very powerful, not overly useful, but it is quite nice. So it is something that is worthy of speaking about. The one last week was much better. This is Paul Bunyan, another I'm not sure if it's an historical figure, I'm not sure if it's a mythical figure, but it's from American Tales. It creates 3 water power gem 5s. It's got a 3-turn cooldown, and it creates 2 water power gem 5s at the start of each turn. So it creates 5 water power gems every 3 turns, 2 on every turn and 5 when you activate your battle skill. So this one is quite usable as well, so that's quite nice. So my my take on the deck this week, is obviously the ultimate form is always going to be the card that most people want to go for, because not only does it give you the killer skill, it actually gives you a boost to your damage output as well, plus it creates those 10 power gem 8s every 3 turn when you activate your battle skill, but it gives you 4 every single turn. So it's quite nice, it's quite usable as a supporting card. It is quite good to add to your deck. However, if you're not able to get it and you're not able to craft it, I would say it's not something that you should go deep for. even though it's a personal choice, I would say don't go deep for it. I would say wait and see what we get for the rest of the season and then make a decision on which ultimate form to go for, because the first ultimate form that comes out, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best ultimate form for the season. So let's look at some cards and let's look at some possible deck combination. Haven't been doing a lot when it comes to videos, and that is because I've been quite busy, but however I'm gonna try and time management a bit more and do a bit more videos, start putting out more content, so look forward to that. Okay, so these are the 3 historical ultimate forms that will give you the killer skill, the oldest of which is Party Posse of Power. Now, Party Posse of Power isn't very useful, isn't very powerful, but it will give you the killer skill. Now, having the killer skill with this card is going to give you 400% damage increase to all Water Slayer cards on your deck. It does give you an ultimate gem, which is not very powerful, and it's got 2 passive on board. Now, the battle skill spawns 5 water gems. If party time is active, it then spawns 5 power gem 4s. What it does is when you activate the battle skill, if party time isn't active, it just gives you 5 gem, which is absolutely ridiculous for an ultimate form. If party time is active, it gives you 5 power gem 4s instead. These past ultimate form were powerful at the time, they're not very powerful now, and a lot of them are not very useful. On the next turn begin, it heals for 4000% of your recovery once per activation. If this hero attacks while this skill is active, it spawns 4 water power gem 2s and apply party time status for 1 turn. So it actually powers up, it actually gives itself party time. Not every ultimate form in the past actually gives you the status that actually activates the special ability within the battle skill. It's got a 3-turn cooldown, 7 gem charge rate, and it's got the battle skill itself has got a one turn status, so the status is only there for 1 turn. The first passive is called Drench, which cleanses 1 enemy debuff from a hero at the turn begins, so it's the next turn, and it's got a 3-turn cooldown. The next passive, when 10 water power gem 1s or greater are on the board, it increases Water Slayer's attack by up to 40% at a rate of 10 plus 10 for every 100 Water Slayer skill point. That was good at the time, it's not very good now. 30% is absolute trash. This one is Masters of Valiance, and this one is the one that came out the year after, so it's not as old as Party Posse. This one creates 2 water power gem 4s plus 1 more per 100 beast killer intensity. So this was a time when we went from skill points to intensity. Intensity was just introduced, and as we know that intensity is limitless, it has no limit, it goes as far as long as the battle lasts the increased intensity. So intensity has no upper limit, it is only limited by the length of the fight. So it was, the thinking behind most of these cards was that you could have a 60-second fight and it could go on for a very long time, and you could get loads of intensity, so this card could possibly fill the board with power gems, which doesn't really happen anyway. So it's got limitations because of its ability to produce power gems. It's got a passive on it. If Masters of Valiance do not attack on his turn, they instead duck in cover and reload, gaining the full loaded properties and reduces all damage taken by 20%. And it's got another passive as every time a hero activates a power gem battle skill, it creates 1 additional water power gem 1. So it's not a powerful ultimate form either, but it does give you 900% damage increase with its ultimate Beast Killer 3 skill. This is the last one that we got, Musketeers United. This came out last year, and this one creates 6 water power gem 7s. It heals for 5,000% of your recovery, upgrades 10 water power gem by 1 rank. So this is similar to your Earth Shaking Colossi, so that one is not too bad. 2-turn cooldown as well. which makes it quite usable. If you activate 3 or more battle skills in the same turn, it increases Water Slayer's attack by 100% and self attack by 100% for that turn. So 100% attack it's not big in the grand scheme of things. 100% damage increase is far more than 100% attack increase, because what happens with attack is that it takes the base attack of the card, or the base attack of each card, stacks them together, and it adds it on top of your attack. If you had that all together, if you've got damage boost on board, the damage boost then takes the total amount of the attack increase, your base attack, your affinity increase. It takes everything together and then it multiplies it. So that is the reason why you get such a massive bang for your buck when you've got damage boost rather than attack boost. But when you mix both attack and damage together, you get even a bigger output of damage. This one dispels blind, so that is the 3 historical cards that's going to give you the killer skill. Now with that in mind, this is what I came up with. This is a possible deck combination. So you got high performance unit area that needs no introduction, but just if you are just starting out on your legendary journey, you've never seen this card before, if you've seen this card before but you don't know much about this card, this is high performance unit area. It's from a deck that we call the Golems. It is a Dark Commander deck, an immortal killer. It becomes immune to enemy damage for 1 turn. That's when you activate the battle skill, and if you get hit by the boss while immune, you heal for 5,000% of hero recovery, and it cleanses all debuff affecting your team, which means this card has a vulnerability to weaken or any debuff that affects healing or attack increase. When it becomes supercharged, you get 25% damage reduction, and it increases your attack by 2,500%. So it gives a very healthy, decent attack boost to all immortal killer cards. It's not just for Dark Commanders, it's for all immortal killers. So as long as the card is an immortal killer, it will boost that card, which this is your main hitting card, or your main damage dealer. I like to call him damage dealer because we went from a point in time where you used to try to do as much damage with your entire deck to a point where you just focus on one card, and that card deals massive amount of damage, and that's where we still are now. I don't think we're gonna come away from that anytime soon, unless the decks change again. Now, Sovereigns of the Dance is my main damage dealing card, which converts all non-water power gems to water power gems and upgrade all water power gems by 2 rank. Then it creates 14 water power gem freeze and increases self damage by 300%. Self damage is quite nice, as I said, so it's going to increase its damage by 300%. Quite a decent card, quite a decent damage dealing card. I've got it awoken 4 times, I'm going to awaken it once more to give me 5 times awoken. I would like to get up to 6 pink star, probably won't happen, but even 2 or 3 more pink star would be nice. It's got a passive ability that rains gems. We're not really interested in that. Doesn't really dispel anything within the event when it comes to debuff, but I'm not too bothered about the debuff. Musketeer United is the card that's gonna give me the killer skill, and it's going to upgrade 10 water power gems as well, and it's going to create 6 water power gems 7, so that does add to the total amount of damage. Might give me a few loose power gem as well. It's going to be the last card to be activated. Metaverse Masters need no introduction. Again, I'm just going to go through the battle skill for those of you who are not really familiar with this card. We had the Soul Store, which finished day before yesterday. End of the event, it finished. If you were able to get Metaverse Master from the Soul Store, congratulations. If you weren't able to get it, Metaverse Master will be available soon in the Drillfist deals, or Drillfist Depot, can't remember, I like to call it Depot, Drillfist Store. So look out for that. Do get your copy of Metaverse Master. You don't need more than 1 pink star on your Metaverse Master anyway. Very useful card, a staple of every single deck, so it is one that I recommend getting. So Metaverse Master, it's a rainbow deck. It's the last rainbow deck that we have. It's the best rainbow gem deck that Network has ever produced, and I can't really see them producing another rainbow deck that actually is far better than Metaverse Master. It converts all power gems to dark. It creates 10 dark power gem 7. It gives the next hero to activate its battle skill 150% damage increase. So it's any card, as long as you activate that card after this card gives the 150% damage. This card came out for their anniversary, and coincidentally we have an anniversary. I think it's the 5th or the 6th year anniversary coming up very soon, so look out for that. Let's see how that actually pans out and what we get. So this is a brilliant card. I think the Holiday Saints is, personally for me, it's the best Christmas deck we ever got. I don't think this next Christmas or Christmas coming we're gonna get a better deck than this one. It cleanses 1 debuff from all water slayers. It gives the next water hero to activate their battle skill 500% damage buff, so it's a damage increase, and it creates 12 water power gem and heal for 500% of hero recovery the first time a hero activates their battle skill. So even if you activate this card's battle skill, it basically fulfill the criteria of the passive. So this card within in and of itself actually produces 12 power gem 8. So it's quite nice, quite a brilliant card, and it doesn't dispel anything that we've got this week in the way of debuff. So what I'm running Frostworth Staff, and this is for Holiday Saints. This one is actually a arcane killer, so it's not gonna break any shields. This one is an immortal killer that will break shield. I've got the 2 pink stars, so it's not really bad. This one is a beast killer. Okay, so this one is this is an immortal killer, ain't gonna break any shield. This is the one that's gonna break the shields. So this one will break 3 shields plus 1 per water slayer hero on board, and this one is a beast killer as well. This one, I think this one is a commander beast killer. So I've got 2 cards, 2 relics that's gonna break shield. So this one's gonna break 3, and this one's gonna break 3 as well. The commander one will only break 3 shields, but the slayer one will break 3 shields plus an additional 3 for the 3 musketeers, sovereigns of the dance, and holiday Santa. So that one is gonna break, so this one is gonna break 6, and this one is gonna break 3. I've got more beast killer relics, but I just use all the water relics on board this one. Okay, so those are some of the card possible decks, and those are the historic cards that's gonna give you the killer skill. We have got cards in the deck that you possibly could use. This one, Frozen Devastation. I've got the 6 pink star, but it isn't, when it comes to our main damage, it isn't gonna perform as good as Sovereign of the Dance. Wish I had Sovereign of the Dance at 6 pink star rather than Frozen Devastation, but it is what it is. There's other cards in the deck that you could use. You could go from killer direction, where you could use Headstrong Headstrong Siren as the card that's gonna give you some attack increase as well. You could use Wave Breakers as a damage dealer. You could come from different perspective. You could go from the arcane side of things as well and use Supreme Santa as an attack boosting cards. Again, if you haven't got, you could use Thought if you haven't got Sovereign of the Dance, but Sovereign of the Dance I think is gonna be your best bet when it comes to a main damage dealing card. So we are in the new season, and this is the event Frontier Feud, and let's view the season. So this is a season. Mido Cernunnos, and that's the skin that you will get at the end of the season. And this is the collection. Same old. This one might be quite useful because the ultimate form actually gives you a decent attack boost, even though it's a one shot, and you definitely want the relic for GVG. So that is the season. Let's look at some news link. So what is in the news link? So the news link, there we go, telling you about the schedule for the season. So first up, we've got Water Slayer, then we've got Dark Commander, Earth Slayer, Fire Slayer, and we've got Light Commander. So I'm looking forward to the Dark Commander next week. When it comes to the Earth Slayer, Earth is a pretty weak affinity when it comes to decent decks. Fire Slayer, kind of looking forward to the Fire Slayer. The Light Slayer, kind of looking forward to the Light Slayer. So that is your schedule for this season. Multi-bosses is coming, so look forward to that. So multi-bosses competition, win ascended ingot and other rare Kudral materials by mastering multi-bosses this week. For every multi-boss boss downed, they will drop multi-boss trophy alongside their normal rewards, and additional solo leaderboard will track these special trophy. Warding players who best these new foes in battle at the end of the event with rare catalysts. By the way, did anybody get their belt? With the new season pass, so the new season pass 2, you will get buy one get one free on Ultra Rare Heroes all season long, meaning every event during the meteoric season, players who have the season pass 2 will get a second Ultra Rare for free once the first copy is pulled from the event vault. Please note that this applies to the first copy. Now, what do I think of that? Season pass 2, for those of you who are not sure about it, season pass 2 is after you get your first season pass. So let's look at the season pass. So the season pass is this thing here. So you get that for, in UK it's £44.99, so £45. You get it the first time you buy it. You get 200 gems, you get 500 VIP experience, you get 1 main relic or 1 rare relic each week, and you can choose whichever of the red one. So you have to get this one first. That is for £45. Now the second one, I'm not sure how much the second one will cost. So the second one will probably cost you £100 or £89, not really sure, but it does cost more than the first pass. Now the first time they done this, they brought out, you buy the season pass, then the second pass that you buy, you get twice the amount of season coins. So every time you went in the vault, tier 1, instead of getting 3 season coin, you got 60 season coins, so on and so forth, which was, I think that was quite brilliant. So you could get more ultimate forms with coins, so you could craft more ultimate forms, or you could get more pink star on a particular ultimate form as the season progressed. So if you were somebody who went up to tier 6 every single event, when you go up to tier 6, it's 6 3s 18, so you actually got 36 coins rather than 18. That's in the main vault. So the historical vault also rewarded you twice the amount of coins. So normally I go through the 3 historical vault and I get an additional 18 coins. So that would give me an additional 18, so 36. I would get 36 in the main vault. The next 3 historical vault, because I always go up to tier 2, would give me 36 as well. 36 and 36 gives you 72, so you only need an additional 10, which you coincidentally you get twice the amount of, I think you get twice the amount of coins from the event as well. So the event collection, instead of, if you're VIP, instead of getting 8 coins, you got 16. So you, every event, as long as you go up to tier 6 and you go through the historical vault, you could get an ultimate form. Network wasn't happy with that, even though people spend 50 quid for the season pass and then 100 quid for the season pass too, 150 quid. They weren't happy that people were able to craft a 1 pink star ultimate form every single event using coins, as long as they went up to tier 6. Now going up to tier 6 is not cheap. Going up to tier 6 costs you just over 20,000 gems, meaning that you would have to buy gems every week. And if you bought £100 worth of gems, which is 12,500 gems, that would be an extra £100 every week. So you're spending £500 for the season, just getting gems. £150 for the season pass and the second pass, so that's £650 they're getting out of your pocket, and you're only getting 5 one pink star ultimate form for the season. They weren't happy with that, so this is why they're bringing in the buy one get one free instead of this coins, which is far better. It's not value for money as far as I can see, because it's quite expensive, but at least if people were able to get it, it would be better for the player, because you might buy the second pass and you might go through the vault for the entire season and never pull an ultimate form unless you go tier 7 4 or 5 or 6 times. So it isn't value for money. So just be aware of that. It isn't a wise choice to buy the second pass unless it's giving you extra season coins. That was the best one, and that was the one that I would say to people, if you can afford it, go for it. But this one, even if you can afford it, don't go for it. So that's it for me today. I will do that possible deck combination tomorrow. No matter what, I will do possible deck combination, and I will be working on other videos, and I will be uploading. I will try and upload at least 3 or 4 videos each week. Different content, different games, but definitely I will still be doing Legendary Game of Heroes on Thursdays and Fridays. Unless I have technical issues, the video might go up a bit later. I'm trying to upload this one quite early today. So that's it. Please leave a like on the video if the information is helpful. Ask questions. When you ask questions, some of the time in the other videos, some of the time other people answer the questions, or I'll answer your question. I haven't been using the network app a lot, but if you leave a message on the network app, I'll try and get back to you as quickly as possible. If there are more people on the network app in the Octane chat, they might answer your questions as well. So try and use the network app a bit more. So like, subscribe. This is Octane in peace, and have a great day. Bye for now.